Alright guys, what's up? So in one of my more recent videos I made a video titled Dear Infinity Ward and how basically they can do a few things to improve upon their game, and it's really no secret that a vast majority of the community really just, to put it nicely, dislikes Modern Warfare to a great degree. Now, apparently, according to rumor, there's going to be a huge overhaul coming, according to the gaming revolution. So let's just say that he's right once again, and there will be, in fact, a huge overhaul with the game. Now, no matter how many times they patch and no matter how many times they fix, can they make the game better? Absolutely, especially if they do the right things that we as a community have requested. But there's a couple of things that cannot be fixed unless they go to an extreme level, which we have not seen in Call of Duty history at all. If they take it to that degree, then that would be fucking awesome. And more credit to Infinity Ward for that if they were to take such a huge step. But no matter how much they try, as history has proven with Call of Duty time and time again, one thing you cannot fix are the maps. And the maps are a really big, if not, they're really probably the biggest reason, if not one of the biggest reasons, easily top 2, top 3 reasons why Modern Warfare is failing to meet expectations. As a matter of fact, in my humble opinion, it's actually reason number 1. The sound system being another reason right there, number 2. And of course the time to kill being very, very fast, number 3. But with that being said, as my dad used to say, it's always good to have plan B, right? You always got to have a plan B in case plan A doesn't work out, right? As a lot of the community is hoping that Modern Warfare gets fixed and the game becomes more playable, more balanced, more this, more that, whatever, right? So we have to consider the fact that, well, what if this doesn't work out? And this is where Treyarch comes in. Now, this is not going to be a video trying to talk people into coming back to Black Ops 4. This is more the other way around, me talking straight to the developer. And yet at the same time, I am involving the community as well. I'm representing the community. Now, I'm not anybody big like the Market J. Yesterday, Market J released a fantastic video explaining what's wrong with Modern Warfare. And it felt really good to see that video because, number one, Market J made a video and expressing his detailed opinion about it, as always. He's a terrific content creator and one of the best and most respected pub stompers to ever do it. And yet at the same time, it feels good because he's basically been saying the same thing that I've been saying for a while, and some other people as well since beta or even before beta have been saying that, hey, there might be a huge problem with this game. And now we all know firsthand that, hey, there's a huge problem with the game. So back to Plan B and back to Treyarch. Now, on November 5th, Treyarch, you guys are going to release a big patch or an update for the game to where you guys are going to go in more detail probably about it next week, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But next week, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to go more in detail before the patch goes live and we can download it. And as far as we know right now, to get the basics of it, there's going to be double XP in Nuketown all the time. There's going to be like all sorts of things, like you can get post DLC weapons by grinding them, and a whole bunch of other things. AN-94 is going to get a buff, Reaper is going to get a nerf, things like that, right? Well, Treyarch, I've been in touch with my community, even though I don't necessarily post videos like I used to anymore. And one thing I can tell you, and I still watch because I still am a fan of the franchise, and I'm actually one of the very, very few that still has faith in you guys to come back next year and to more than make up for the mistakes that you guys made with Black Ops 4 that has caused a very, very large percentage of your fan base to basically hate not only Black Ops 4, I mean, according to what everybody's been telling me, they hate Black Ops 4 with a passion. It's one of the most hated Call of Duties now, for varying reasons, but the biggest reason is the microtransactions, from what everybody's been telling me, the 150 health, manual health regen, and the fact that basically people feel like they've been ripped off with the Black Ops Pass. Okay. All valid reasons, and everybody has their own difference of opinion in terms of which one of those reasons are the most is the biggest reason why they hate Black Ops 4 and they'll never come back to it no matter what. But I am going to do my best to look at the positive side of this and to say that there are ways starting now, starting next week as a matter of fact, where you guys can literally start redeeming yourselves and slowly but surely show signs of hope for the next game that you guys release. Because with Black Ops 3, the microtransaction system nearly killed your game. With Black Ops 4, the microtransaction system definitely ended up, I don't know if the term is kill your game, but it really took a lot of the wind out of its sails. And it's gotten to a point right now that so much of your fan base that used to love you guys to death right now have done at the very least a 180, some of them a 360, a lot of them a 360 actually, and completely they don't have any faith even in your next game coming out. And I'm one of the very few that do. So, and I despise the microtransaction system. I mean, I'm barely hanging on by a thread here, Treyarch, by the way. So I'm not justifying the microtransaction things that happen with the Black Ops Pass and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, back on to what I'm about to say. You guys can start redeeming yourselves right now. So here is what I suggest. Now, you guys are definitely heading in the right direction with everything that you've announced so far before you go into your before you officially give the specific details on what this patch is going to have in it in terms of how you can get the weapons and all that kind of stuff. Who knows? Maybe you're saving yourself a surprise for us or something. I don't know. But the thing is, for the community, even if they patch Modern Warfare up really well, and if the game isn't still playable with the maps, what is your plan B? For some of you guys, you might go back to Treyarch for the very few. You might go back to Black Ops 3. You might go back to Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, World War II, whatever it is. Again, this is not about coming back to Black Ops 4. My job is not to convince you. If anything, from me talking to the community, my job is not to convince you of what your decision is going to be in terms of what you like and what you don't like. If anything, I'm just going to try to instill maybe the possibility of this much hope for the next Treyarch game. Now, the thing is, Treyarch, what you need to do now is you need to basically release all your DLC maps that previously required the Battle Pass to have them. You need to release those for everybody, all the players, for free. Simple as that. DLC weapons, all of them, even the ones that you're going to continue to create that you said that you'd do, those are going to be grindable, which is very good. Again, a step in the right direction. But all DLC and all that kind of stuff needs to get released for free. And you also need to make a classic bare bones playlist. And what I mean by this is 100 health, no manual health regen, no specialist. Do that, and I can tell you that the current player base that is playing your game or that has gone back to play your game because they absolutely despise Modern Warfare, and I have a feeling that by the day those numbers are increasing, this gives you a chance to not only show the community that, okay, this is the first step in heading in the right direction, and the thing is, you're going to hold on to those players that are playing your game even longer, therefore kind of keeping them in suspense in terms of what you guys will have in store that will be officially announced in about 6 months from now and revealed probably 8 months from now in its entirety. And the thing is, you guys, in terms of what you can learn from what Infinity Ward is doing, again, I don't know if this is all Infinity Ward, but I'm pretty sure Activision obviously has to give a thumbs up for it to happen. But crossplay needs to be something that needs to stay. Free post-launch DLC needs to stay. All weapons need to be grindable. And as far as you guys are concerned, the biggest problem that people have with their 3-lane maps and the biggest reason why people call them boring, from what I've seen, is because with Black Ops 4, We simply didn't get enough variety. We got a lot of cut and paste, and that pissed a lot of fans off, which is understandable, and I'm sure you guys can see where we're coming from. So another thing you guys need to do for the next game is less cut and paste. If not, I mean, we all like the nostalgic maps. I think Modern Warfare proved this time around that no matter how much you try, you cannot relive the old days of COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, or even Black Ops 1, or even Black Ops 2. Those times, even as much as someone like myself, who loves Black Ops 2 more than any other Call of Duty that has ever been developed, those times, no matter how much we want to, can never be replicated. Ever. So we need to stop looking in the past and start looking ahead. Now, it's rumored that your next game is going to be a Black Ops reimagining, kind of how Modern Warfare is a reimagining of that. Modern Warfare proved just how important map design is. And you should never specifically cater just to one playstyle. You should cater to all playstyles. So the thing is that, please, Treyarch, take this feedback that you're seeing from the community in terms of what's going on with Modern Warfare, both the positive and the negative, because people love the fact that there's crossplay. People love the fact that you can grind for DLC weapons or whatever you want to call those kind of weapons. Because the thing is, if you can't grind for them, they are basically a cancer to your game. Because, like the XMC, for instance, in Black Ops 3, very powerful weapon still. Even though it's been nerfed, you guys nerfed it, it's still stronger than the other submachine guns. So if anybody has that gun, has been lucky to get it, or if they paid out the ass for it, it makes the game pay to win. It ruins the experience for the entire fan base. So all those things that you did in terms of those games need to go. And some of the stuff that's implemented in Modern Warfare, like, for instance, the crossplay, the free DLC weapons and all that kind of stuff, and the stuff that you guys have planned for Black Ops 4 now, this needs to translate over into Black Ops 5 or Black Ops Rebooted or whatever the game is going to be called. And like I said, I'm one of the very few that still has faith that this could be a definite thing coming up in the future. But the only thing that scares me is the fact that, well, if people end up disliking Modern Warfare, and if the upcoming patch that they have that's supposed to be an overhaul isn't enough to keep the fan base engaged, that might cause a little bit of miscommunication. And the last thing we want, after we've taken such a huge step forward with crossplay and free DLC, the last thing we want is to have something like that taken away. Do not split the fan base. We've already been split up as much as it is over the last handful of years. There's less Call of Duty players now than there used to be, as far as I understand. And there's a lot of people that come and then as soon as they smell bullshit, respectfully speaking, they leave immediately and they don't stick around to play the game. And I know that they still purchase the game, but it's not a win unless you can keep them engaged. Call of Duty used to last an entire year before the next title came out. Now, it doesn't last that much anymore. It's lucky to last 6 months, and that's a damn shame for a AAA title. Or supposedly a AAA title, because if it truly is a AAA title, it's going to last for that long. So, with that being said, I hope you guys took this constructive criticism, or whatever you want to call it, or whatnot. And I know I am just a very small part of the community, but I've been playing your games for the last 8 years. And I've been sticking with you guys through thick and thin. And like I said earlier, I'm hanging on by a thread. And I am pretty sure that I'm not the only one. And I want to see what you guys have in store. And let's keep things moving forward. Remember, Call of Duty needs to move forward, not back. We cannot replicate the times of 2007, 2009, all that. We need to put that behind us. Is it okay to throw in a little bit of nostalgia in the game by having some DLC maps or whatnot, or DLC weapons that you can grind for, and that the maps that everybody can play from the get-go, regardless of console and regardless of whatever? Yeah, that's fine. But it shouldn't be like 50% of your game. So I'm sure through Black Ops 4, you guys heard a lot of feedback. So here's hoping. Here's hoping that the next game that you guys develop uh, steps in the right direction, and I hope what's ever left of our fan base and whichever percentage of us is gonna give Treyarch you guys a chance to with your game. I hope we end up enjoying it. I hope the word of mouth kind of unites the community a little bit more. And that's it. That's pretty much all I got. So let me know what you guys think of the video, and if anybody from Treyarch happens to hear this, I hope the message gets through. And that's all I got for this one, guys. Catch you later.